So this is our today's class topic, syllogisms. We can call this as statements and conclusions also. Statements and conclusions. Okay. So data sufficiency is already completed, right? This is also similar to the data sufficiency, but data sufficiency, you have some data in the question or the question can be asked directly. You will be that will be followed by two statements, which is sufficient and all you need to answer. Okay. But here statements and conclusions. I guess with the name of this concept itself, you can tell the basic concept of this topic, guys. Statements and conclusions. What does it mean by conclusion? Conclusion means what is the information that you can understand from the given statements. Okay. So this concept of statements and conclusions basically will have two statements. Okay. Basic level will have two statements and two conclusions, guys. But if you are checking for the advanced level, you are expected to have seven statements nearly. Okay. Starting, you can see two statements with two conclusions. After that, three statements, four conclusions, four statements, four conclusions, and maximum you can see seven statements. It is the level of the questions that we have. So basic level, first I'll explain you how the process of solving these questions and all. You please check for that. So two statements will be there and two conclusions. Statements, whenever you are solving topic of syllogisms, you need to disregard the general facts. You need to disregard the universal facts and the common facts which you know already. Okay. I'm repeating once again, guys. You need to disregard the generally known facts or common facts or universal facts. Whatever the information given in this statement, you need to consider it as 100% true. And from that statement, you are supposed to derive the conclusion. Okay. While deriving the conclusion, you are not supposed to assume, you are not supposed to imagine, you are not supposed to think anything behind this, beyond the statements with considering to general facts. Okay. Whatever is presented in these statements, that is the information given to you. You need to consider that that is the information 100% true. Okay. And conclusions. Conclusions, you should not relate that to real facts. Whatever information is there in the statements, from that exactly you need to derive the conclusions. Okay. So I'll write a few statements here. Try to understand why I have told that statements you should not relate it to general facts. Most of the time, you can feel that the statements are actually out of logic. Okay. I'll write few statements here. Please go through that. All pens are flowers. Some pens are mobiles. Some pencils are erasers. Okay. Guys, if you see these statements and compare it to the generally known facts, you may feel that they are out of logic. Okay. But you should not consider that. In syllogisms, whatever the statements they have given, you need to take that statements 100% true. Though they are out of logic, though they are of the same facts which you know already, you should not bother about the statements. Whatever the statements they have given, you need to consider the statements are 100% true. All the pens are flowers is not possible. Some pens are pencils and some pencils are erasers. These are not possible. According to the general facts we know, we can't accept that as true. But in syllogisms concept, whatever the statements given, you need to consider them as true. Okay. That's the first point you need to remember. Don't judge any statement. Whatever the information given, try to understand the statements and then derive the conclusion from the statements. Okay. Guys, I'm going to give you one tip here. While solving the questions on these statements and conclusions, conclusion you can derive whenever that information or the word or the terminology is presented in the statement. Okay. If statement is speaking about boys and girls and conclusion is given regarding pens, pencils, and flowers, you can't say that that conclusion is true. Okay. I'm repeating it once again. If statements, whether they are two statements or seven statements or five statements, how many ever, If statements are speaking about boys and girls and conclusion they have given with respect to pens and flowers, that conclusion will never be true. Why? Because if something is not said in the statements, you can't conclude anything from that statements regarding the unknown mentioned terminology or otherwise words. Okay, just understand this, guys, because whenever there were more statements, you might have little confusion. I will make sure that I'm explaining it clearly. Whenever more statements are there, two statements, it's very easy to understand. That is the basic level. Two statements, you can solve it in any which ways. But when more number of statements are given, you might feel little difficult to understand. But all that I can tell you is, if you are getting wrong answer, whenever statements are increased, please don't get disappointed. You just need some practice. That's it. Okay, for two statements, three statements, mostly you can get the answer. Whenever more than two statements are there, you might need to think a lot regarding the question and then answer. Okay, that will not come with just 2 hours of class, guys. You need some practice, so don't worry. While solving with two statements, you can get the answer. The same you practice for 3 to 4 statements until 7 statements, you will get the answers for sure. Okay, in this concept of syllogisms, we have many methods to answer the question, guys. Out of all the methods, we are choosing the Venn diagram representation to answer the question. Okay. Our main target is to derive the conclusions from the statements. For that, you can just theoretically read the statements and say, this conclusion can be true, this conclusion can be false, like that. But better way of understanding and clarity, for that, we are following the Venn diagram representation of the statements. Okay. So, guys, now I'll depict 4 statements and the Venn diagram representation of the 4 statements. Please make a note of it, because if you understand how those 4 statements are represented, then entire topic you can solve it by your own. You don't need a trainer to explain the topic actually. I'm telling it once again, guys. Please make a note of all the 4 statements and the representation, whatever I'm going to deliver now. Those 4 statements are the pillar blocks of this topic. So statements and conclusions, starting with 2 statements to 7 statements, you'll have information in the statement, and from that you need to conclude the information. So 100% you need to take the statements to be true, and conclusion you should not assume, you should not imagine, you should not think about the general things while solving the conclusions to be true. Okay, so here are the 4 statements, guys. First one, some A's are B's. As I have mentioned already, don't think the statements are whether out of logic or following the logic. Okay, some A's are B's. It's pretty clear, guys. You know it already. Some A's are B's, and I told you we are following Venn diagram method to answer the question. This is A circle and this is B circle. Okay, some A's are B's. What is the meaning of some A's are B's, guys? They just want to tell that there is some relation between A and B. Okay, most of the students, whenever they see this intersection diagram or otherwise whenever they see this statement, some A's are B's, they feel that 50% of A's are B's, or otherwise half of the A's are B's. Okay, it is not like that, guys. Some A's are B's means they just want to tell that A is represented with a circle, B is represented with a circle. Some A's or B's means there is some intersection part between A and B. There is some common part between A and B. Okay. All that they want to tell is nothing but there is some relation between A and B. That relation can be 5%, 1%, 10%, 50%, 99%, anything. Okay. Some A's or B's means I can tell you that there is some intersection. Okay. That intersection is how much percent means we can't say. All we can tell is nothing but there is some relation or intersection or common thing between A's and B's. Okay, if you want to draw some B's or A's, that is also the same, guys. Okay, some B's or A's, both are the same. Some B's are A's, both are the same. Okay, maybe you can draw like this. You can draw B circle and you can draw A circle. Some B's are A's means you may be writing like this. Okay, but both are the same. Some B's are A's, some A's are B's. Both wants to tell that there is some relation between A and B. That's it. How much percentage is the relation or how thick is the relation and all, we can't say exactly. All that we can tell is nothing but those two circles, if they intersect or if they have some common area, They have some relation. That's it. Okay. That is the first one. Some A's are B's. Next, second one. No A is a B. No A is a B or no B is a A. Both are the same, guys. No A is a B or no B is a A. What is the meaning of this? No A is a B means there is no relation between A and B. No B is a means there is no relation between A and B. Okay. That means A circle you need to draw here and B circle you need to draw here. Actually, when there is no relation, you can represent like this simply and say that they are not related, guys. Okay. But as we have seen that the topic of syllogisms or statements and conclusions, starting with the basic level from two statements to we have seven statements. Okay. So when we have more than two statements, like till seven statements, we are expected to draw more circles. When we are expected to draw more circles, we can't actually remember between which two values there is no relation, between which two values there is some relation and all. There might be some confusion while representing more statements, guys. To avoid that confusion, you need to just connect these two circles and give a cross mark over there. So this will help you to understand that circle A is not related anything with circle B. I'm repeating it once again. Please do understand. No A is a B or no B is A means they just want to tell that there is no relation between A and B. Okay. If that is the case, you can just leave the circles with some gap and tell that they are not having any intersection or they are not having any relation. But that's not the point here, guys. When you are supposed to represent more number of statements in the form of this Venn diagram, you might have a confusion that exactly what are those two parameters which are not related. So to avoid that confusion, we are just representing like this. Whatever the two parameters which don't have any relation, you just draw the diagram for that. So two circles for the two parameters and connect it with a straight line, give a crossover there. So you can tell that they two are not at all related. No A is a B or no B is a. Both are the same, guys. They just want to tell that there is no relation between A and B. Okay. The interesting one, third one, all A's are B's. Okay. Here A means it's a category, guys. B means it's a category. Okay. All A's are B's. Whenever you have the statement all the A's are B's, completely A circle should lie inside the B circle. Okay. This is a 100% important statement, guys. Out of all the four statements that I'm gonna give, this third statement and first statement you can see in most of the questions. Most of the questions are based on these two statements, first statement and third statement. So without third statement, you can't actually solve many questions. Understanding the concept of third statement is very important, guys. All the A's are B's means completely A circle should lie inside the B circle, because all the category of A's are B's means all the category of A's will be coming inside the B circle. Okay, that's the point. And here we need to understand a few more things. If this is the statement, all the A's are B's, then you can say some A's are B's also. Okay. You might have a doubt like, ma'am, why you are saying some A's are B's whenever we have all the A's are B's, you can say all the A's are B's, right? So guys, here try to understand all the A's are B's means completely A circle is having relation with B. Okay. What is the meaning of some A's are B's? It is not that only 50% or some other thing. Whenever you see a word sum, they just want to tell that there is some relation, there is some intersection, there is some common thing between those two parameters. Okay. When it is completely related, there is nothing wrong that when you say that they are related. Some A's or B's means you are not saying that they are not related completely. You are saying that they are related. Okay. Don't confuse by the word some. Some A's or B's means you just want to tell that there is some intersection part. Okay. You need to concentrate on the intersection part only. Please don't think or concentrate on the negative part. Okay. If you are thinking about the negative part, ma'am, only some A's are B's means rest of the A's are not B's or rest of the A's are B's or not. We are not thinking about that part. Whatever is presented, all the A's are B's. That means A's are completely related with B's. Perfectly correct. Next. From that, I can tell you that you can also conclude a statement of some A's are B's or some B's are A's. Because the statement of some B's are A's or some A's are B's, they want to tell that there is some relation between A and B. That's it. It doesn't mean that if some A's are B's, rest of the A's are not B's. Okay. Hope you understand the point. Whenever all the A's are B's, A's are completely related to B's, guys. You can say that some part of A's are B's. It doesn't mean that other part is not. Some part of A's are B's means you just want to tell that there is relation between A and B. Okay. So as some A's are B's and some B's are A's are the same, you can tell that those both conclusions are true. Okay. But you can't tell that all the B's are A's. Why? Because whenever you have all the B's are A's, B circle should like completely inside the A circle. Okay. But I can't see like that in the diagram. So all the B's are A's is the wrong conclusion. For the third diagram, what are the possible conclusions? Some A's are B's is correct. Some B's are A's is correct. Next, all the B's are A's is wrong. Okay. Next, the last one, fourth one. Some A's are not B's. Some A's are not B's. Simply as I have explained you earlier, guys, when you are asked to concentrate on the intersection, concentrate on intersection. When you are asked to concentrate on the other part, concentrate on the other part. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. Some A's are not B's. This is A circle and this is B circle. Okay. Some A's are not B's means you have to concentrate on the part of A's which will never come under B's. Okay. So they may have intersection part, guys, but you should not concentrate on that. As I have told you, whatever is the statement meaning, you need to concentrate on the statement meaning only. Okay. Some A's are not B's means this part of A's are not having intersection with B. Okay. That means I can tell you that this part of A's are not at all B's. I'm repeating it once again. If you want, you can check for the first statement also, guys. Some A's or B's means you are concentrating on the intersection part. It doesn't mean that rest of the A's are not B's. Some A's or B's means they just want to tell that there is some intersection part. That's it. Okay. Some A's are not B's means they just want to tell that some part of A's are not B's. It doesn't mean that remaining part of A's are B's. So whatever the statement is telling, if the statement is asking you to concentrate on the positive part of relation, concentrate on the intersection point and say that they are having some intersection. Okay. Some A's are not B's means you need to look for the part of A's which are not a part of B. So that is nothing but the other portion of the intersection. Okay. So if you want to write some B's or A's, you can just change the diagrams like this, guys. Some B's or A's means you can draw B first and you can draw A next, or otherwise in any which ways you can draw, but you can concentrate on this part. Okay. Some B's are not A's means you should not concentrate on the intersection part. You need to concentrate on the other part of the B. Jeff, in the third one, some B's are A's are true. Yes, Jeff, some B's are A's are true. I will revise once again, guys. Please check for that. These are the important points in the syllogisms we have. First one, some A's or B's means intersection part is there for A and B. You can say that some B's are A's, some A's are B's, both are the same. Okay. Next, no A is a B, no B is A, both are the same. They are saying that there is no relation between A and B. So better represent, connect with the two, like a connect with a line and then give a cross mark over there. We can better understand while we are representing more statements. Okay. Coming to the third one, all the A's are B's means A circle should be completely lying inside B circle. Okay. I will tell you two possible conclusions from this statement, guys. When all the A's are B's, completely A is related with B. Okay. You can say some A's are B's because some A's or B's is holding the relation between A and B. That's it. It doesn't mean that rest of the A's are not B's. Okay. And also in the third statement, some A's or B's is correct, some B's or A's is correct. Okay. Guys, both are the same. Some A's are B's or some B's are A's. Both are the same. They are just saying that there is some relation or intersection between those two parameters. That's it. Okay. Last one, some A's are not B's. Some A's are not B's means ignore the intersection part when they're asking to concentrate on the leftover area which is not connected with A. Connect like highlight that area and concentrate on this part of diagram. That's it. So first one and the third one are the most important things you need to keep it in your mind, guys.